Well, here goes. Hi, everybody, and I am so glad that you could all be here to honor Tim. Um, my name's Lisa, and I'm a very good friend of Tim's mom, Barb, and of Tim, and of Jonathan, and now more of the circle of friends that surround Barb and her family. I just want to tell you first, I'm very, very appreciative of everything that you guys can do for her and the support that you've given her through this terrible thing. Losing Tim is quite a blow. You know, who's ever ready for something like that, right? Barb, for those of you who don't know, Barb and I are very close. We share a lot of things in common. We used to say we're sisters from another mister. One of our greatest bonds is that we love horses. We love healing with horses. We love anything about a horse. Horse to us is like somebody's squirrel. We can become completely enamored with them. We are also scientists. We work in a very demanding, high-tech field. We share a lot of ideas. We riff off each other. Without her, there's several things I would have never been able to do, and I want to think that maybe there's things that she did with my help. We're also the mother of sons, and that's probably our biggest unifier, and we've known each other for around almost 10, 11 years. And as our sons have grown up, I have a son who's just a little bit older than Tim. And they kind of mirrored each other in the things that they would do as they were coming up through being 13 and 15 and 16 and 16, the year that lasted for several. We would get together quite often through the years. We would talk and we would discuss what the kids were doing, what the latest and greatest was, and some of it wasn't so great. And it got to where we have to laugh sometimes about it, because if we didn't, we would just sit around and cry all the time. Because that's what moms do. Moms lift their kids up. They teach their kids. They want everybody, they want their kids to be the best. They want them to learn about their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Have faith. Barb did an excellent job with all of that. She was the number one supporter and the number one fan of Timothy Jacob Adler. I got to spend quite a bit of time with Tim last year or a year before out in Colorado, and we worked horses together, and we did some horseback therapy, some equine sensory therapy, and we did it with Tim. As you guys know, Tim had an accident when he was a young man, a young teenager, and he had residual effects of that, and we were trying to help him. Because one thing I learned as I met Tim Adler and I got to know him as he matured into a young man and then into a man, that there were two speeds to Tim. There was stop and there was go. Maybe there were three. There was stop, go faster, go as fast as you can, and then we don't stop until someone's in tears or they're hurt or they punch him in the head. Because that's how Tim was. Tim was an intense, loving, just salt of the earth individual. And he loved his mother. He loved his brother. He loved his family. I looked at pictures this last week of Tim as a little boy, there's pictures of him with little kids, helping them, talking to them, doing therapy of his own, because he had a big heart and he had a lot to give. The kid would give you the shirt off his back, and I think a lot of times he did. There's going to be a huge hole, a void that's going to be left by his passing. But as all of us have not lost people in our lives, and we've lost children and young people, and we always wonder, why did this happen? And we have to look at the fact that our kids are on loan from us, for us. They're on loan from God. He gives them a contract, I think. They come out of us as mothers, and they have a very defined mission and purpose, and they have a contract on this planet. But they'll also have a contract in the afterlife, in heaven. The way things happened that horrible night last week could not have been any different. His father was there, his brother was there, his very good friend was a person who he spent his last breaths with. I want to think, and I hope that you all think, that Tim left his earthly vessel, walked headlong into the loving arms of our God, and now he's being used in many different ways to do the good, to continue maybe with the good that he did on this planet. We consecrate our children. God gives them to this, and he takes them back. And that Wednesday night, God took Tim back. As I was driving down here from Memphis, Tennessee, to be with Barb and her family and help in what little way I could, but just to be there as support. You know how it is when you're behind the wheel. Any of you have driven a long ways, you think, oh my gosh, I can solve the world's problems. You think, you go back in time and you have memories. And I sing songs to myself, and I was singing different hymns. I was singing Amazing Grace, and you know, the first verse of Amazing Grace is so powerful, you know. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, who saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I think of that song, but I also think deeper into the verses of that song. I mean, we all knew, you know, Tim could have his moments. I was teasing with his mother last night that there was not a vehicle made that Tim Adler could not wreck. But there wasn't a person that Tim Adler could not touch in some way, in a positive way. And he could help. And he has. He helped me knowing him. I think of the meals that he's cooked for me, the meals that we've shared together, the intense moments we've had at the barn, the things that we've joked and laughed about, how he's made me laugh so hard I was sore the next day. My face hurt. That's how Tim made me smile. On the other hand, Tim can make you cry, and we've cried a lot for Tim. But I know that Tim was good with where he was. Maybe in some way he knew his contract was coming to an end, and he was getting some things together. He got himself right. He got himself right with God. He was very good with his mom. As any of you guys know, that was his biggest fan and ally. She would have walked over broken glass, jumped through a burning building, whatever she needed to do to push, pull, drag, get him to another side. So rest in peace, young buck. We'll miss you. Do good work on the other side. As I was thinking about all the verses to the Amazing Grace song, one of the second to the last verses talks about, I think it's, yea, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and the mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. Tim's behind the veil. He's living a life of joy and peace. So let's remember him today. One love.